All right, this is the Vietnam photo book, take one, I guess. All right. Hi, how's it going? Brad here. It's May. That's good. Sun is finally coming out. And I have a photo book update for you guys. Big news, I ordered the first tranche of photo books. And I ordered 35 of the Vietnam photo books. It was really difficult for me to figure out how I wanted to do this, but what I've decided to do is order one group of books at a time and take the money that I make from it and just order the next group. So for the first group, I only have 35 books. When those are sold, I'm going to put that money directly into the next book, which is the Turkey book. Once the Turkey book is done, then I can get into the really good stuff, which is Cambodia, and then on to India. This has been truly an awakening experience for me for a lot of reasons. Going through these photos in an honest way has really forced me to deal with things that I didn't want to deal with. And the more honesty that I inject into these books, the better that they get. And I want to just start by saying, and this is what I say in the Vietnam book, that period of my life when I was roaming Vietnam, I was truly lost. And I was searching for something, but I didn't know what. And now as I look back, I think I was searching for value in myself, because I had told myself for a long period of time that I was worthless. And going to these very remote places was like I was looking for me, or a version of me that I could find value in. And the very first thing I had to do before putting these books together was to study photography and photography books, because I'm self-taught. I mean, I never studied these things or art in general in college or high school. So I began to look at different photographers. And I'd like to show you one of the photographers that I used to kind of model my book after, because I see my photos resembling very much the style of photography that she uses. And her name is Dorothea Lange. So I have this book here. It is a book that I bought used on Amazon. It is called Dorothea Lange, Words and Pictures. And I have a few images here that I want to go through. I think everybody would know who Dorothea Lange is, because she has an iconic image here that I believe everyone has seen, and that is the Migrant Mother. So the Migrant Mother is not so much a staged photo. By the way, there's a wonderful documentary video on Dorothea Lange on Amazon, and if you have Prime, you can watch it for free. It's really great. It's like an hour and a half, goes through her life. It's phenomenal. But Dorothea didn't really take photos that were staged. They were very minimally staged, and they always had some kind of human component. And that's what I really see that synchronizes my style with hers. So here, with the Migrant Mother, which was taken during the Dust Bowl after the stock market crash, you can see the pain in this woman's face. To me, just tells me her ability to be the mother that she wants to be has been taken away from her. You know, and these kind of human elements speak to us in very much like a very primal way. And I think when that happens, when we find photos that speak to us at a very human level, we start to realize how similar we are to one another. And as I look back in my photography, I see the fact that I was looking at people in a different way. I was looking for humanity, because really what I wanted was to tell myself that I was valuable, was to tell myself that I could do something that would be valuable in the world. And I was looking out into the landscape and into people to see what are they doing that's valuable. Anyway, so here is another image that I really like. And so this image was taken in San Francisco, just a bunch of kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance, but again, a lot of faces here, a lot of kids, and they're always doing something, they're always doing. And you can tell this photo isn't really staged, it's just what it is, and maybe if there is staging, it's very, very minimal. And that's what I really love about her work. Here's another picture here that I really like. So here's a gentleman picking cotton, just kind of showing what it's like. I mean, you kind of look at how he's dressed. He's dressed from head to toe. I mean, these plants would probably tear you apart if you were dressed, to be comfortable in this kind of weather. So you had to dress with a lot of clothes, you had to carry heavy bags, it was very hard work. And I think what she captures in these photos is the struggle of what it is to be a person. And I don't care who you are, you've had struggle in your life. And the way we deal with that struggle is kind of how we become who we are and who we will become in the future. And making these books has given me a reason to come out of like a multi-year, I don't know if it was depression or just a lie I built in my head, which was, you'll never be good at anything, you shouldn't even try, don't even try. It's not going to work. We tell ourselves these little things and they start to mutate and metastasize into something big. And the fact of the matter is, we can't think about what's not going to work. All you can do is your best. If you don't do your best, then you're right. You can paint that picture of it not working, and it very well may not, because you're not giving it your best. And going through my photos, and I have a few photos here I want to show, but I want to keep this really, really quick. Going through my photos, I see a lot of these same elements that Dorothea has. In this photo, we have an elderly gentleman sitting next to a younger guy. It could be a father and a son. These guys look like farmers. They look like they're out of work. Their clothes are kind of tattered. You can tell their shoes are worn down to almost nothing. These people are really hurting. And it's not hard to tell. And I think it takes a person with a certain mindset to identify these types of things and to capture them in a way that's not exploiting them. So I want to show a few images here that I have. I really want to keep this as quick as possible because everyone's time is very valuable. All right. So the first image I have here is, this is the cover image for the Vietnam book. And I chose this image because I really liked a lot about this image. But the thing that I like the most is the fact that you can clearly tell this gentleman here who's working the oxen, the water buffalo, he's got mud up to his waist. You can tell the sun is coming down in the sky. It's getting later in the day. Even the water buffalo looks tired. And I just think this image encapsulates what Vietnam is. You know, there's opportunity should you seek to find it. Should you seek out the long hours, should you seek out the hard work, you could prosper. Of course, it takes a little bit of luck. You know, it's just not that easy. It's not just work. It never is just work. But I love this whole painting of earth, animals, and humans working together. This is another image that I put in the book. This made the final cut for Vietnam. I enjoy landscape photos, but there are not many landscape photos in the book because I really wanted to stick with something that had a human element in it, because as I go back through my photos, I find more and more photos that are really quite good, and I just didn't recognize them at the time because I was looking for something else, or I didn't know what I was looking for. So in this case, this was when I was going over one of the very high mountain passes, and it's just, you know, a little house with a wall around it, and you can tell there's corn planted all over. There's all of this corn, and it's on a very steep slope. And I remember stopping and looking at that and thinking, that's where I belong. I belong out here away from all of the people. I belong in this remote place by myself because I'm worthless. And I took this photo thinking, how great would it be to live out here by myself? But now as I look at it, I think it's terrible to separate yourself. It's horrible to feel like you don't belong. I felt that way. And now I'm feeling less and less of that. And I'm trying to tell myself more and more truth. So these images are changing for me. And I think they're becoming more of what maybe other people would see when they look at them. So this is an image from Cambodia, from Osam. And there was a small tribe that raised water buffalo, and they were a nomadic people, and they just they traveled through the valley there by Osam. And since I continued to go back and forth to Osam, I started to become friends with a lot of the people there. And the way that I did that was I would just take pictures of people, and then I would print them, and I would bring them back, and I would just hand out photos. And that created this real bond, because when you give something to someone that has no value to anyone else except for them, it's a very personal gift. And it was incredible what that tiny act of thankfulness or gratitude or call it what you will did. I would walk down the dirt roads of Osam, and people would come out of their homes and pull me in, and they would give me food, and on their wall would be my photo that I took of them. So my photographic journey was one of taking pictures of places and things and turned into taking pictures of people. And the best photos I have come from Cambodia and India, because I spent a lot of time there, but also because I was a much better photographer at that point. With Japan, Vietnam, and to a lesser extent, my first time going to Cambodia, the photography is good, but you can tell it's lacking something. So here's another image that I think, this is the kind of stuff that I really love. You've got these two gentlemen. This is in Varanasi, India. It's early in the morning, And you can tell they've got their lunch pails here. They're off. They're going to the place of work. They're coming home from it. I can't quite tell. But they're talking to one another. They're both smiling as they walk. It's a beautiful image of, around the world, so much of what we do relies on trust and relationships that we have with one another. And although a lot of times those relationships can be strained, this is the way we get things done. So these are the types of photos I saw in Dorothea Lange's work, and these are the types of photos that I really gravitate towards in my own. Here's one from Mexico that I really love. It's just kind of a beach scene, but it's a very common beach scene. So you've got one gentleman playing the guitar and the other guys are just kind of hanging out, enjoying it, and the sun's going down. Like these types of scenes, I love these scenes. They are not posed. This is real life. And I just feel so grateful to have been able to be there at this time, to witness this, to be a part of this, to capture it. I mean, this is who we are, and we can't forget who we are. So I did spend a good bit of time in Guatemala as well, as some of you may know. I was there for 2 different Semana Santas, and for those of you who don't know what Semana Santa is, it's Easter. It's what we would call Easter. And this is a huge celebration. It lasts multiple weeks. A lot of people travel for Semana Santa, and everyone dresses up. There's a huge church congregational thing. They carry these massive floats around, and it's quite a sight. And I really haven't released any of those photos, and I shot full videos of all of this stuff. So I'm deliberately putting the Cambodia, India, Guatemala, and some of the Mexico stuff maybe towards the middle, because making these books is a learning experience as well, and I don't want to dive into my best images and then make books that really don't serve them well, do them justice. So this is an image I really, really love from Guatemala. It just shows just the magnitude of respect that they have, and they are quite a religious community. I think that's where a lot of it comes from. I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing, it just is. But these 2 women, this is very common to see, the kiss on the hand, that kind of stuff. I just find it really, really beautiful. So with that in mind, I guess that wraps everything up. I will send out another email when the books come in. Like I said, between the 12th and 15th is the date that I have now. I just ordered them yesterday. I haven't decided exactly on a price, but I'm thinking about just including shipping and then just having one price so it's super easy. And I'll put it on the website, and I will include that link if anyone is interested in it. Like I said, there's 35 books. I wanted to come up with a number that I knew I would sell, so I didn't have a bunch of these books hanging out. And that's kind of a waste. It's a waste of my money. It's a waste of paper that could go to something that someone would love. And I think 35 is a good number, and hopefully I can grow that as the next books come out. Maybe more people will be interested. Maybe I can grow it to 50. Maybe I can grow it a little more. I don't know. But I would just like to say thank you guys for watching, and I really appreciate all of the support. This has been January, February, March, and April have been really difficult months for me. but I've finally been dealing with something that I've tried to run away from. And being alone here during that time has really showed me that, there's certain things you can't run away from, and you just got to deal with them, especially if you value your future self. So I'm doing my best to try to value my future self and just do my best and be the best community member that I can be. And getting through this stuff now is going to take me to something bigger. I have some more info on Studio TU and storytelling, but I'm going to save that for another video because I think this one's long enough. All right, thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.